glorious summer's evening here in Italy for race 2 of the Formula Regional European Championship. Good evening wherever you are watching us live all around the world. Welcome to Circuito Marco Simoncelli, simply known as Misano. As the sun starts to set, the cars are out on the circuit. This is the formation lap for race 2 of the FIA Formula Regional European Championship. Earlier on this afternoon, we had race 1, a sensation off the start when the pole sitter, Arthur Leclerc, came together with not only his teammate Jean-Luc Petekov, but also Yuri Vips, and he retired after just a few hundred meters. Race 1 was won by Oliver Rasmussen, the Dane, who is to start on the second row of the grid in car 6 for the Prema Power team. There is Emilio Pesce, his first ever Formula 3 race this afternoon. Jamie Chadwick, she finished third on the podium in race 1. The grid looks like this. Arthur Leclerc and Yuri Vips, the Monegasque and the Estonian, on the front row of the grid. Then it's the boy from Brazil, Gianluca, and Oliver Rasmussen. Patrick Pasma, he finished second in race 1 this afternoon. He's alongside Pierre-Louis Chauvet for Van Amersfoort Racing. Jamie Chadwick and Consta Lappalainen, Emilio Pesce, Gillian Henrion, and Andrea Cola. Car 14, Arthur Leclerc from Monte Carlo, Monaco. The youngest of the 3 Leclerc brothers took pole position in qualifying with a time of 1:29.789. Vips, as you look at Andrea Cola to start on grid 11. Vips was to have started out at grid 2, but it's been pushed back to the second row of the grid. There's the green flag. Welcome to Misano, the FIA Formula Regional European F3 Championship. We race, and Leclerc rockets off the line. A perfect start for the driver from Monte Carlo. It's Prema Power Team, 1, 2, and 3. Car 4 in position 4. That's Yuri Vips, who we expect to take the fight up to the cars from Vicenza. They slot through Variante del Parco, the first chicane on this, the opening lap of this 30-minute plus 1 lap race. A clean start here as the sun starts to set on the Adriatic coast of Italy. Andrea Cola going through past Gillian Henrion. Arthur Leclerc is the race leader from Petekov and Rasmussen. As Henrion going side by side with Emilio Pesce. They did exactly that in race 1, and that battle rages on this, the opening lap of race 2, also here this evening. Patrick in car 5, second in race 1 earlier this afternoon for the KIC Motorsport team, the 3 drivers for the Scandinavian outfit. But it's the Prema Power team, as they did in 2019, running 1, 2, and 3 here as the sun sets. Moved down the inside by Pierre-Louis. Tries to take the KIC Motorsport car off Consta Lappalainen. Had a great run this afternoon, did the boy from Menton in the south of France. And speaking of drivers from the south of France, Arthur Leclerc is starting to pull away. Remember, he only did about 200 meters of race 1 this afternoon. He leads at the end of lap 1 by exactly 1 second from Petekov. Rasmussen. There's Jamie going through. She's behind Yuri Vips, ahead of Pasma. There's Yuri, car 4 for the KIC Motorsport team. The Estonian, Super Formula in Japan, their loss, our gain. There's Jamie in car 55. On this, the second lap of the race. A clean start here this evening. Leclerc, we should point out, he only did a few hundred meters as Vips has a look at the back of Rasmussen, race 1 winner. So his tyres are a lot healthier. They're in fact 30 minutes healthier than virtually every other driver in the race. He's already pulling away. He did get 0 points out of the weekend opener this afternoon. Started on pole position, and he's got a lead from Petekov and Rasmussen. Gillian Henrion, his first run in Formula 3, the small family-run team from Bretagne in northwest of France. Having a great run here this evening. The car immaculately prepared. Sits in behind car number 99 of Andrea Cola. He's had plenty of experience racing all sorts of machines, including Formula 3 in Eastern Europe, also Lamborghini GT3. A few tests with them, decided to race with us. In the Formula Regional Euro Champs, there's Pierre-Louis Chauvet, the sole remaining Van Amersfoort, a racing entry here this weekend after Alessandro Famolaro was a late withdrawal. He sits right on the gearbox of Constellapalainen, the Finn, who is back for another crack at the FIA Formula Regional Euro Champs for the three-car KIC Motorsport team, as Vips gets close to the back of Oliver Rasmussen, the Dane who won race 1 here this afternoon. So Yuri, a lot expected of him, the Estonian, as Arthur pulls away. There's Petikov, Rasmussen, Vips, Jamie. Car 5 is Pasma. There's Constellapalainen, just holding off Pierre-Louis Chauvet, who finished in 5th place earlier this afternoon, was almost threatening for the podium before running wide, not far from the checkered flag. And there is Pierre-Louis Chauvet, a couple of seasons racing in French Formula 4 from Menton in the south of France. Just 18 years of age, actually took 2 wins in the French F4 series. And Julien closes in on the back of Andrea Colla. Tries to make the move, does the Roman. Henry on with Emidio Pesce. Right behind, of course, Emidio. Coming together in race 1 this afternoon with Gillian Henry on, the French driver. Finished the race in the gravel as we look at the battle between Yuri Vips and the race 1 winner, Oliver Rasmussen, 3rd and 4th. Down into turn 1 through Variante del Parco, the chicane here at the Marco Simoncelli Misano circuit on the Adriatic coast of Italy. It's Prema, 1, 2 and 3. They dominated in 2019 with Frederick Vesti taking 13 of 24 victories. And they're running 1, 2 and 3. Yuri Vips, so much expected of the Estonian. Running in 4th place in car 4. He's about to turn 20 years of age next week. Started the season thinking he would be racing Super Formula over in Japan. Actually competed in a few of the tests over at Suzuka before, well, you know what happened next. The world shut down. It's their loss, it's our gain. He runs in position 4, teammate to the driver on your screen. There's Patrick, car 5 for KIC Motorsport. Pasma, 2nd this afternoon. There's Jamie. She was 3rd, car 55 from Bath, Somerset in England. She drove superbly, defended for her life to bring the Rodenbach car home in 3rd place as Emidio on the marbles goes up the inside. The Frenchman Julien Henry holds him off. Nicely done by the both of them. They came to grief in race 1 this afternoon. Julien, massive correction on the exit. Holds him off, lives to fight another day. Great racing between those two as the field streams across the line. There's Jamie under pressure from Patrick Pasma, Constellapalainen, and Pierre-Louis Chauvet. He's quick in the number 3 Van Amersfoort racing car, but he cannot get by the 2 drivers from Finland who sit immediately in front of him on the road. Petikov, the fastest driver on the circuit, in 2nd place. Falls back to over a second behind his teammate, the youngest of the Leclerc brothers, his older brother Charles, watching on our live broadcast from Silverstone after putting the Ferrari on grid 4 for tomorrow's British Grand Prix. Arthur leads. He got 0 points, a DNF out of race 1 this afternoon. He leads here in race 2 of this 8-round 24 race series as Jamie goes in, locks up the brake ever so slightly, corrects it on the exit. And there is Leclerc, Petikov behind from Sao Paulo. And it's Rasmussen, the race 1 winner, who's dropped off. Vips ever so slightly. Chadwick, Pasma, Lapalainen, Chauvet, Colla, Henry on, and Emidio Pesce in the single car entry for DR Formula 4 this round. And Gillian, as we mentioned, the small family-run team. No big, expensive transporter for them. A car off the shelf, of course, powered by the Alfa Romeo engine, the Pirelli tyres, and they're able to race competitively this weekend. Petikov, the gap down to 1.1 seconds, a 1:30.980. as the sun starts to set rapidly here this evening. There's Yuri going through straight lines that chicane, which is the unofficial racing line. This 4.2 kilometre circuit, built half a century ago. Of course, it's had multiple variations. Most known all around the world for motorcycle racing, home of the San Marino, Rimini Coast and Italian Motorcycle Grand Prix. And of course, the Italian rounds of the World Superbike Championship as well. And it's the venue for the opening round. Finally, we race the 2020 Formula Regional Euro F3 champs. Prema 1, 2, 3, Yuri Vips, his teammate Pasma Patrick finished in second place earlier this afternoon, a bit ragged on the exit. Remember, all these drivers except for Leclerc, their tyres have already raced 30 minutes earlier this afternoon in race 1. A DNF for Arthur. Newer tyres, but I'm sure he would have swapped that for a result. As we look at the two KIC Motorsport cars going wheel to wheel. Consta behind Patrick, and then Pierre-Louis Chauvet. There's Arthur going through the final corner onto the straight. Let's check the gap. Petikoff last time round was the fastest driver on the circuit with a 1:30.9. Arthur matches it. In fact, he beats it at a 1:30.8. He's pulling away the youngest of the three Leclerc brothers, the second generation racer. Of course, his father, his late father Harvey, top runner in Formula 3 in the 80s, 90s, also a top-level international kart racer. His boy leads the way in race 2 here at Misano. 1/3 race distance. Leclerc, Petikoff, Rasmussen. There's Constant defending from Pierre-Louis Chauvet. The Van Amersfoort Racing entry. There's Jamie, backed by Roden Cars in New Zealand, the supercar manufacturer. She actually ducked down to that part of the world at the start of the year, where she was able to test the incredible Roden Formula supercar. Also GP2 chassis as well. And she joins us a last-minute entry. Of course, she dominated last year's W Series, which is not running in 2020 like so many series, so many sporting events around the world. But we are delighted, we're thrilled, we're relieved to be on track as Jamie defends as she did in race 1 as well. Patrick tries to find a way by the girl from England in car 55. Confirmation at the bottom of your screen that Arthur is the fastest driver on the circuit with a 1:30.8. Pulls away from his teammate Petikoff. There is Pierre-Louis Chauvet. The 18-year-old, 2 wins in French F4 in the last season. Steps up to Formula 3 racing. Sole Van Amersfoort Racing entry for this round. Quite a few drivers missing for this round of the series. You know why. There's this evil, invisible virus that has descended on the world and played havoc. So we are relieved, we are thrilled to be back on track. It may be the first weekend in August, but we are back in racing. This is the second race of 2020. Chadwick still defending. She was superb in race 1, did not give an inch. Now she runs off the circuit. The English driver is vulnerable. Pasma around the outside. Tries to duck back. Jamie puts car 55 in the middle of the circuit. She'll be slightly slow on the exit. Bottleneck going down the back straight. Grabs 6th gear through turn 11. Curvone at 240 plus k's an hour. Pasma will not be attacked too aggressively by his teammate Lapalainen, but Consta has to defend. Pierre-Louis Chauvet tries to find a way by. Jamie still defends 5th place here this evening as the sun starts to set at the Misano Moto Grand Prix circuit. There's Vips going through, then it's Jamie, Patrick, Consta, and Chauvet for Van Amersfoort Racing. Jamie barely even checks the mirrors. She's tough, this girl. The Williams Formula 1 development driver holds position 5. She finished 3rd this afternoon. Yuri Vips, the much more experienced Estonian, certainly when it comes to Formula racing, tried everything before he made an uncharacteristic mistake. threw it into the gravel trap. Jamie C came home in position 3. Now she's in 5th place. And behind her is Pasma, Lapalainen, Chauvet, Cola, Henrion, and Emidio from Milan for DR Formula. Again, Patrick starting to get anxious now. This is where she went off the track. No mistake from Chadwick this time. As we approach half race distance, the Formula Regional European F3 Championship. There's Lapalainen on the podium last year, 2019 at the Red Bull Ring. Big effort from KIC Motorsport, run by Petri Lapalainen. That's Consta's father, who was 3 times Finnish GT champion, as Pierre-Louis goes down the inside and takes Consta. Nice move. Lapalainen, though, gets him on the exit. Nicely done by the Finn. Fabulous racing in the season opener here at Misano. Chauvet will be frustrated. There's Vips going by. Jamie Chadwick, that gives her a little bit of breathing space just at the moment. Just has to defend from Patrick as Chauvet and Lapalainen drop back ever so slightly. Car 40 from Finland, the 3-car KIC Motorsport outfit. They attack down into turn 1. Variante del Parco here at Circuito Marco Simoncelli, simply known as Misano. Jamie in car 55, then it's Patrick. They're on the podium this afternoon as Arthur Leclerc continues to lead here this evening. Half race distance. There's Rasmussen going through. He's dropped off Vips. Then it's Chadwick, Pasma, Lapalainen, Chauvet. Half race distance at Misano. Race 2, the Formula Regional European Championship season opener. Incidentally, a big shout out to our friends over in Japan. They're racing at Fuji Speedway this weekend. The first round of the 2020 Formula Regional Japanese Championship. And also our friends in North America over at Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama in the deep south of the USA. It's their second round of the series, if I'm not mistaken. The Formula Regional concept lifting and taking off all around the world. This is the European season opener. As just ahead, the battle rages again. Jamie defends, but for how long? That's the question. Patrick closes up on the back of car 55. Consta's right there once again. Leclerc now with a lead of 2.4 seconds into Variante del Parco. Turns 1, 2, and 3. The chicane at the end of the start-finish straight. Neatly aggressive behind the wheel is the English driver. She defends. She's talented when it comes to defensive. She will not be intimidated. And as for the Finnish driver behind her, well, the Finns are as tough as they come as well. She's got 2 of them breathing down her neck. Patrick Pasma, Consta Lapalainen, has to defend from his teammate Chauvet. Wants another crack to get by the KIC Motorsport cars. Arthur Leclerc leading now by 2.7 seconds from Petikov and Rasmussen. Pasma down the inside in the middle of the circuit. Consta around the outside. Shades of Paul Ricard in 2019 when Lapalainen came together with his then teammate Isaac Blomqvist. And Chadwick again defends. Leclerc goes even faster at 130.6. Chauvet tries Lapalainen. He defends and at the same time attacks the back of Patrick. Jamie does not flinch. This is impressive stuff from all 4 of them. The series opener here at an empty Misano. Obviously, we do have to race behind closed doors. No chance of 100,000 MotoGP style crowd here this weekend indeed for 2020 in virtually any sporting event all around the world. The sun is starting to set. The lights will still come on here at this racing weekend promoted by the Automobile Club of Italy, the FIA. The second year of this burgeoning Formula Regional European Championship. Yes, be assured, we do have new cars, new drivers on the way. There are, in fact, cars parked in the pits here that are missing a driver this weekend for various reasons. DR Formula, we expect them to be back with 2 cars. Alessandro Famolaro for Van Amersfoort Racing, also missing this weekend, along with the lights of Techno Race, Maestro Motorsport, Abu Dhabi racing. But the challenge, once again, as it was in 2019, will be to catch Prema Power Team that run 1, 2, 3. There's Rasmussen, the race 1 winner, sits in 3rd place. Yuri has dropped off behind the Dane. There's Jamie still defending. Car 55, position 5. From car 5, which is Pasma, dives down the inside. Tucks back in. The Pirelli rubber painted onto this 4.2 kilometre circuit. As we approach 2/3 race distance, we are now racing under the lights as Leclerc comes across the line. The warning flag goes out for Chauvet for not respecting the track limits at turn 8. La Quercia corner, where they'll approach in about 30 seconds time. The Travel Planet backed a Van Amersfoort racing car in position 8. So Constar still cannot get by. His teammate has to defend from Chauvet. And Jamie's holding up all 3 of them. She's doing nothing wrong though. It's the 55 Roden back car in the middle of the circuit. There's Vips going by. Yuri, who was fastest here in pre-season testing, a 129.791. Also Matteo Nannini and Mick Schumacher testing in the Formula Regional cars here at Misano just about a month ago. Along with the likes of Oscar Piastri, Marcus Armstrong, all turning laps in these fabulous FIA Formula Regional F3 cars. Chadwick has to defend, she breaks there. Now she checks her mirrors, and Pasma's right there. She's hard to intimidate. She'll know it though. The red and black machines from Finland, the team based in the north of Italy though. 2 Finnish drivers and an Estonian. But Jamie feeds the power through quite gently. Holding on to 5th place, following up on her 3rd this afternoon. This is 2/3 race distance. You can see the top left of your screen, the clock ticks down. 10 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. Incidentally, if we do stay green, we'll approach a race distance of around about 85 kilometres. We times that by 3, and we get to around 260 kilometres of racing, which is not far off a full Grand Prix distance. Of course, drivers racing for the 2020 series, there are 25 Formula One super license points up for grabs. And when you consider that there's only, I say only respectively, relatively in fact, only 40 points needed for a Formula One super license, and it is a temptation to race in the Formula Regional Euro Champs. Jamie, she's in position 5 at the moment, still has not been passed this weekend. She held position 3. She's holding position 5 ahead of Pasma and Lapalainen. Jamie, the 22-year-old, actually winner of the Silverstone 24 Hours back in 2015, I think it was, from memory, driving a GT3 Aston Martin. That's where the British Grand Prix is, of course, taking place this weekend on what we could call her home circuit. Quite a bit of GT racing before she shot to prominence as Chauvet runs off the circuit in the background, winning the W Series in identical cars. The Tata's T318 chassis powered by the turbocharged Alfa Romeo engine tuned by Auto Technica. The Pirelli tyres, of course. She won the W Series in 2019. It's unfortunately not running. And much like Yuri, not running in Super Formula this year. Their loss, our gain. Jamie, car 55, still position 5 as you look at the race leader, Arthur Leclerc, coming through turn 8. Has got a gap to 2.4 seconds. Back to his teammate Jean-Luc Petikov. He's just gone faster than anybody, a 1:30.581 as they burn the fuel. We're under the lights. The sun starts to set here on the Adriatic coast. On the eastern side of Italy, there's Rasmussen coming through. Then we wait for Yuri Vips, car 4, position 4. And then the battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Chadwick, Pasma, Lapalainen, Chauvet. Final race 3 tomorrow morning, of course, it will be the challenge to find the best 4 tyres out of the 2 sets of Pirellis the drivers can use throughout the weekend. Leclerc down through turn 1. There's Petikov. Gianluca, second in the Italian F4 Championship, powered by Abarth. Presented to you by WSK Promotion in 2019. He runs in second place. He lost that title to Dennis Hauger, who of course won it for Van Amersfoort Racing. He's in second. The boy from Brazil, car 10. Prema winning the inaugural title. In fact, running 1 and 2 with Frederick Vesti and Enzo Fittipaldi in 2019. Almost history repeating with Rasmussen from Denmark, winning race 1, just as Vesti from Denmark won race 1 in 2019. Leclerc from Monte Carlo. Petikov from Sao Paulo. Then Rasmussen from Copenhagen. As Lappalainen runs off the circuit, trying to get by Jamie Chadwick, who has finally been passed by Pierre-Louis Chauvet. 6 minutes remaining in the race. Chauvet's moved up to 6th place. So Pasma has finally gone through while we were watching the race leader peel off another lap. She's finally been passed. Jamie Chadwick back into 7th after holding off 5th place for so long. Those Pirelli tyres are coming up to 1 hour of racing plus qualifying. Can she defend for another few laps and hold off Consta Lappalainen? Chauvet has got through, Pasma's gone through. They've both disappeared up the road. They've pulled out a big gap on the English driver already. She defended superbly, but tyre management oh so critical, as we've got 5 minutes, 1 lap remaining, race 2 here at Misano. There's Consta, as we mentioned, on the podium at the Red Bull Ring in 2019. Various teammates last season, they're back with a 3-car attack for 2020. Petikov again goes faster at 1:30.3. This is really not far off qualifying times. Leclerc going into 1:29s yesterday. So Petikov, the faster driver on the circuit, the lead comes down to 1.8 seconds. Knowing Gianluca, he will not give up on taking the victory here this afternoon. I do suggest to you, though, that Leclerc is just managing it as he coasts it to the checkered flag. Again, Chadwick defensive. Around the outside goes Consta Lappalainen. Side by side, but he's forced out into the marbles. She does not give an inch. Jamie Chadwick holds off Lappalainen. They race down the back straight, well over 240 k's an hour. She wants every last possible point for race 2 here this evening under lights at Misano. Lappalainen has another look down the inside into turn 14. 4 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. Consta is lining her up, coming onto the straight. So there's Pasma going through. Sorry, Vibs going through, Pasma behind. So Urias dropped back into the clutches of his teammate Chauvet. We're watching them down into turns 1, 2, and 3. The circuit that you know oh so well from years and years of World Championship motorcycle racing. Lappalainen looking through away by Chadwick. Darts down the inside. She won't be passed there. Slightly wider line. Gets on the power quite early. You can see that from Chadwick. Lappalainen, though, is just waiting for his opportunity to at least get by into 7th place. Here's a chance. Will he dive down into turn 8? Indeed he does. Lappalainen goes through, dives down the inside. Nicely done by Consta. Chadwick falls back to position 8 after defending beautifully for the best part of half an hour here at Misano. Arthur slides onto the straight. The gap, 1.8 seconds. Gianluca Petikov in the background coming for him, but most likely will run out of time. 1:30.3 last time around for the boy from Brazil. There is Petikov. He won't catch him, surely. We wait for the race 1 winner, Rasmussen. The length of the main straight. There's Oliver coming on. And then we wait to Vibs, who was challenging the race 1 winner earlier on. 2:22 left on the clock. There is Vibs, car 4. position 4, Pasma. Car 5, position 5, Arthur Leclerc on his way to victory. A 1:30.3 for Jean-Luc Petikov. Just out of curiosity, that is quicker than a MotoGP bike, obviously. They've got much less grip, even if they are doing 340 k's an hour here at Misano for the outright lap record. Race conditions held by Robin Frains in the AB Sport line DTM Audi from 2019. A 1:27.291, so roughly, approximately as quick as a DTM car, just a second or two off depending on the circuit. These Formula Regional European F3 cars. Leclerc, or Arthur Leclerc en français, or Arthur Leclerc as we'll simply call him in English, lest we do the entire race en français. There is Rasmussen in P3. The sun has well and truly set here at Misano. It's a spectacular sight. It's a beautiful circuit. It's a great place to be. The seaside resort town of Misano. So we expect there to be probably 3 laps to go. It is 30 minutes plus 1 lap. So there is Patrick. He's got by Yuri Vips, his teammate. So tyre management as they coasted to the checkered flag here for race 2. And they try and find the best 4 for race 3 tomorrow morning. Good drive from Pasma, second in race 1 earlier on this afternoon. He's looking at coming home in 4th place. Here's Jean-Luc Petikov. Race 3 at 10:50 tomorrow morning, just before 11 o'clock local time, just Central European time, or GMT +2. And incidentally, from here we go to Paul Ricard Grand Prix circuit in the south of France on the 23rd of August. And given that we've got a Formula 1 calendar that was inconceivable Christmas last year, well, we race at 6 current Formula 1 Grand Prix circuits. Paul Ricard, Imola, it's back on the calendar. We race there on the 22nd of November in conjunction with the F4 Series. Red Bull Ring on 13th of September, the fabulous Red Bull Ring in Austria. Mugello on the 4th of October as Arthur starts his last lap and Chauvet tries to get by Vips. And of course we race at Monza and Barcelona as well in 2020. The lights are on. Leclerc on his way to victory here this evening. Down through Variante del Parco. Turns 1, 2 and 3 for the final time. It's been a perfect drive from pole position. Petikov, his teammate in 2nd place, is the fastest driver on the circuit, but Arthur Leclerc is managing it as he races towards the checkered flag, down into turn 8. Look at the Pirelli rubber that's been painted onto this circuit. Ultimo giro, last lap you can see on the top left of your screen. A disappointment, a DNF, a crash after 300 meters in race 1. Race 2, as the sun sets here at Misano, and it's been a faultless drive for the youngest of the 3 Leclerc brothers, the 2nd generation racer. Charles Leclerc, his older brother, watching on live from Silverstone. Your brother is going to do it, Charles. A disappointment in race 1, a victory surely in race 2 for the Prema Power team. Last lap, just a few hundred meters to the checkered flag. And the boy from Monte Carlo, Monaco, has 1 corner remaining. Car 14 for the Prema Power team. Little Leclerc races across the line, takes the checkered flag to win race 2 of the FIA Formula Regional European F3 Championship. There is the boy from Brazil, o menino do Brasil, Jean-Luc Petikov in 2nd place. And the race 1 winner, Oliver Rasmussen, makes it a Prema Power team 1, 2, 3. The attack from Yuri Vips, who came oh so close to taking pole position in qualifying, it faded towards the end. There is Pasma, and once again a storming drive from Pierre-Louis Chauvet. The 18-year-old for Van Amersfoort Racing comes home 5th place, just behind Patrick. Then it's Yuri Vips, Angelo Rossin, the team manager, the principal, the legend of the Prema Power team. Yuri Vips in 6 from Lapalainen, Jamie, Andrea Cola, Julien Henrion, and Emilio Pesce. But all credit to the boy from Monte Carlo, car 14. That is your race winner for the Prema Power team. We've got a 24 race season. It was to have been raced over 12 months. We condense it into 6. And Arthur Leclerc is made up for that DNF in race 1 earlier on this afternoon. Takes the victory in front of obviously empty grandstands, sadly, here at Misano. Takes the checkered flag for the Prema Power team. Petakov second. And a victory this afternoon. And a 3rd place here this evening for Oliver Rasmussen. Leclerc, Petakov, Rasmussen, 1, 2, 3. Patrick comes home in 4th place from Pierre-Louis Chauvet. Great drive for the Van Amersfoort Racing driver. Yuri Vips, Consta Lapalainen. Jamie, she defended for her life, but faded to 8th. From Andrea Cola, good drive for the Roman. And Julien Henrion and also Emilio Pesce in his first ever Formula 3 race for DR Formula. We're looking forward to this grid, to this field growing for the next round of the series at the Paul Ricard circuit on August the 23rd. Arthur Leclerc, congratulated by Jean-Luc Petakov. The Ferrari junior driver has done the job here this evening. Under lights here tonight at Misano, Arthur Leclerc takes the race 2 victory here at Misano for the Prema Power team. Makes up for the disappointment of race 1 earlier this afternoon. Congratulated there by the entire team. Alessandro Vantini in the background, technical engineer with Ferrari and the Prema Power team. He's done it, and he's congratulated there by Ralph Aron, who himself won the 2015 Italian F4 Championship before finding a new home as the team manager for the Prema Power team. 3rd place, car 6, Oliver Rasmussen. Jean-Luc home in 2nd place in car 10. But it's the 14 machine of Arthur Leclerc. I'll stay with the English translation. Let's go down to Camilla with the race winner, Arthur Leclerc.
Congratulations on your victory after a bad start. It was an amazing victory and also a good result for the team.
Yeah, it was really good start from this morning. This morning was a bad start, so the target was to improve the start and the consistency in race, and that's exactly what we did, so I'm really happy.
What's your goals for tomorrow?
Thank you very much.
Merci, Arthur Leclerc. As we take a look at a replay of the start, in fact, race 2. Well, Arthur Leclerc from pole position disappeared down into turn 1, and that was as close as the rest of the field would see. A faultless drive. Petakov immediately into 2nd place. Pierre-Louis Chauvet, fabulous battle further back in the pack. Going wheel to wheel with Consta Lapalainen. And keeping it clean as well. Fabulous racing down through the field. Jamie Chadwick defended for about 25 minutes of this 30-minute race. Until right about then, she was in 5th place in car 55. But at the end, couldn't hold off Chauvet, Vips and Lapalainen. Says Consta going through on Jamie. That was a nice move down into turn 8 on the penultimate lap. Arthur Leclerc from Monte Carlo, Monaco for the Prema Power team. Comes across the line, takes the checkered flag. A DNF in race 1, but a fabulous victory here this evening Petikov in second place, and Oliver Rasmussen, race 1 victory and on the podium here this evening.
Gara 2, seconda piazza dal Brasile, Gianluca Petikov.
Third place is Oliver, believe it or not, behind the mask. We wait for Gianluca. There is O Menino do Brasil from Sao Paulo in second place. And the winner of race 2 here at Misano from Monte Carlo, you know his name, it's Arthur Leclerc. Gianluca in second place. Just quickly doing the mathematics. Still early days in the season, of course, but a win and a third place, and that will probably put Oliver Rasmussen into the series lead. Of course, we've only raced twice out of 24 races. There is the race winner, Arthur Leclerc.